and digital kind of bookshelf of some of Montgomery's favorite reads. Books that she actually owned and read, or books we know she read and loved. So that's one project. I know there's more manuscripts maybe to come someday as well.
What is your personal favorite part of the website?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd probably say I do love seeing the minutes of the Cavendish Literary Society when she took those minutes, because she's writing in pencil and you can tell she has a public audience, so she's kind of keeping the minutes very clearly and professionally, but she had to have had a little moment when she wrote Ewan's name. Like, they knew each other by then. I think that's probably one of my favorites. The other thing that I saw as I went through the manuscript, it is so funny. It is so much funnier on rereading, and a lot of the funniest parts were notes that she added later. She had a really good sense of comedic timing, and a lot of those pieces, the funniest bits, are additions to the novel, which is fascinating. So the question was about like digital preservation, not just preserving the physical copy, but keeping this digital version alive. The site as it is will run for at least 5 years, possibly with renewal. And then we've talked about other ways of storing the files or transforming the files so that they can last, as different technologies change, we can read different kinds of images and all those things. We've talked about that, how to keep these wonderful high-res images stored and safe going forward, even beyond the life of this exhibit. It's definitely something we've talked about. I don't know, who knows what's to come in terms of which types, but it's definitely a consideration.
As a Montgomery scholar, what was the most surprising thing you learned about Ellen Montgomery in your research for this particular project?
Sure. The thing that has struck me over and over is that this was her first novel. That should be the one that you're like practicing on, right? That should be the messiest. That should be the, you should be able to see all that in the manuscript, and you don't. Her system of revision is that alphanumeric system. She started it with Anne, and she did it with every novel until she was done. She maintained this system. So it's amazing to me that whatever drafting system she decided on when she sat down to write a novel stuck with her. And the manuscript is very clean. She knew exactly what she was doing. She had outlined it, she had planned it. Those additions are wonderful, but it's really surprising to see someone's first novel be so clean and pristine, and you can follow it. That was really surprising. You'd expect the first novel to be the one full of scribbles, right? But it's not, and it's kind of remarkable.
Hi, excuse me. Just going back to, you said there's a 5-year limit on it. Is this online project, is this a living document, or would you call this closed and then you would reevaluate in 5 years? Like, if you have things you want to add to it, or if new scholarship becomes available that might affect some of the notes you've made, is it something that could be changed or adapted or added to over the next 5 years?
I imagine this version of the exhibit staying for 5 years, but that doesn't mean that when that 5 years is over that there's some other things we've learned or ways. But I would love to take some of the pages with scribbles and use some different imaging techniques to see if you can figure out what's under the scribbles. So things like that might come along, but I think this exhibit, this version is just getting the manuscript out into the world, and then we'll see what exciting things are on the horizon after that. No, every manuscript, the question was about what's on the backs of the pages of the other manuscripts. Some manuscripts run front to back with just story. Some do not. Jamie Lantern Hill is written on the back of like letters and Ewan's sermons and a whole variety of things. So I think she used, for the most part, whatever paper was around. And so it's not always clear whether she was planning, I bought new paper for this manuscript, or she used whatever. There's a variety. They don't all have this unique collection of previous material on them. Yeah.
I will pass on. We have people in the chat online, and we have greetings from Japan. Shout out to Japan. Also, Ann Wooster is on the
Oh,
chat.
good. That's great. All right. Thank you so much